Hey, it's the Ebony Gamer, and I'm back again. I just finished up, literally just, with Ubisoft's press conference, and I'm gonna say that I still hold to what I said in the last vid about Microsoft winning so far. Ubisoft did okay, but I mean, I've seen them come harder, so I'm gonna have to kind of. I can't, I'm not gonna cut them that much slack because I've seen them come way harder in the past, so I know what they're capable of, and this was kind of weak. Although I really did enjoy Aisha Tyler this year. I know, everybody is always hating on my girl, but you know what? It's really dope to see a fellow female black gamer repping at the biggest game stage of the year, so I really don't care. Haters hate, but I like her, and she's no less corny or cheesy than any of the other white chicks or dudes that get up there, so I don't want to hear it, alright? We just have to accept that E3 is the time for painful jokes regardless. But let's go ahead and get on into it. The first game that they showed, it wasn't really a game at all, I guess. I mean, it is, but they started off with this American Bandstand BS for Just Dance. I didn't sign up for that shit. That was not enjoyable. I didn't have fun with that. I'm sorry, I really, Ubisoft, that's the kind of stuff that we do not need you to keep doing. The performers and all that, we've been telling you guys for years, knock it off, please. Please listen to us for once. Just try it 1 year without that unnecessary bullcrap, and I guarantee you it'll be way better. Just try it. So after that painful bump, they moved on to Ghost Recon. We finally got into some games. I hadn't really been paying too much attention, so I didn't have any hype or ill will towards Ghost Recon, so I was kind of just looking at it with fresh eyes. The trailer looked interesting. The villain, I really, really love well done villains. They always draw me in. And the villain that they showed, his little monologue, I don't want to put it exactly on the level of Voss's monologue, but it kind of it intrigued me the way that Voss's monologue intrigued me about him. Wish he had a bigger role in that game, I swear. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see that villain, and hopefully they don't do like Voss, where I understand he came in kind of late. I can't remember what the guy's, was it Michael Mondo, I think is his name. I understand he came in kind of late, so they fit Voss in as best they could, but hopefully since this villain came from the beginning, we'll get to see him a lot. He won't be some shadowy figure that pops up every now and again to be an asshole and isn't really that well fleshed out. I think his name was El Sueño. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know. I thought that the premise of what they were saying, like how a Mexican cartel moves into Bolivia and takes over, that sounds interesting. If that's well done, I would like to see how that plays out. It seems like it's just Ghost Recon Breaking Bad, so that's not a bad thing, but, I don't really know what to expect from it, but if I had to guess, I would say that. And graphics-wise, it was beautiful. I don't really know about the multiplayer or whatever little gameplay they were showing us where they were be stealthy, but they were busting in, guns blazing everywhere, so I don't know if they understand the concept of stealth. So I don't really know what to make of that from that gameplay, but graphically I was impressed. And I believe that drops March 7th, 2017, so we do have a while to wait on that. The next thing is what I felt they should have ended on, because I feel this was the strongest piece of the show, and that was South Park, The Fractured Butthole. I am a huge South Park fan. You need to learn that right now before I play that game on this channel and surprise you with my uncalled for hypeness. I adore that show. I love that they're willing to go any and everywhere. No subject or person or anything is safe. And with Trey Parker and Matt Stone back on board, I feel like we don't have anything to worry about again. Is it going to be reminiscent of the show? Is the humor going to be the same? Absolutely. From what we did see on stage, they nailed it once more. So I'm not worried at all if those two guys are back because they're the creators of the show. The gameplay seems like it'll be fun. They mentioned choosing out of dozens of classes, and I think he said you can mix and match too, so that should be really fun. They're going to be superheroes in this game, so I'm interested to see that. And I'm even willing to put up with the turn-based combat because honestly, they find a way to make it not so insufferable. So I'm not upset about that. I don't mind it. Didn't mind it with Stick of Truth. I'm not going to really mind it here. And the title alone already shows you that classic South Park punny humor that really is funny, even though it's kind of juvenile. So I'm really, really excited to see this game come to me. I have been waiting for this since it was announced last year, I believe. And it was really cool to see Matt and Trey back on stage again. Kind of wish they got to host something, but Like I said, this was the strongest presentation, and I really feel that they should have ended on this rather than what they did. And I think that comes out December 6th this year, and they said that I'm not sure if you buy it or if you pre-order it, which one it is, but you do get Stick of Truth with it, so that's really cool. I'm loving that they're doing all these game bundles to get you back into either the first or the previous game. That's really cool. They also announced the Division Underground, like an expansion or something, and then it was survival expansion. And I think that they said that the Underground's coming out June 28th, but the survival expansion is coming soon. I'm not 100, but lots of people didn't really seem like they were too hype about that. I guess there's still some issues with the Division that have yet to be ironed out, and they're already trying to give you more stuff rather than fixing it. I don't know, I haven't played it yet. I'm going to kind of hold off and reserve judgment, period, because I need to see it be a solid service that everybody's enjoying before I hop in. The next game is another one that was, to me, pretty strong, and that was For Honor. I'm really excited to see where that goes. I already explained this in the last video, but I'm a huge history buff, so seeing all these like ancient battles really intrigued me. I think that the little theme they were playing on there, that searching for peace on the battlefield but not quite finding it, I really like that concept, and I want to see how that plays out in the game, if that's like a big part of the story. And the graphics were smooth as hell. I was really impressed. They showed that in some gameplay where it's like raining and you're in like this Japanese fortress fighting and you're like a Viking. That shit was dope. It was also hack and slash, seemingly. It had a little bit more elements to it than just mash a bunch of buttons, I think. But it does seem to kind of at least trail along that hack and slash genre, and that's my favorite genre of games, period. So I really think I'm going to have fun with that game. And I also really like how the creator or the director or the writer, whichever he is, I really like how passionate about this game he is. Like, it makes me excited to play it because he was excited to present it, and he seems to have faith in it, so I have faith in it. Like, he's probably one of the best presenters as a dev that I've seen so far. So I'm really looking forward to playing that. I didn't quite catch the date on that one though, so you're gonna have to look into that. The next thing they presented was the Assassin's Creed movie. I was hoping they would say something about a future game or something. I really didn't care to hear about the movie here because I just feel like it's E3, can we please keep it about the game? Because I feel like people have been dancing around games this whole time as if this whole thing is not about video games. Like, that's what I've really been not liking about this E3 is talking about games seems to kind of be getting put on the back burner in the face of like a million other things that I just don't give a fuck about, and that could be discussed at other times, you know? But they did talk about the movie, and I personally am going to be going to see the movie, and I want it to be good because video game movies have the reputation of like a fucking insta-thought. They are not trustworthy, nobody wants them, they're never good. So hopefully this will break that long-standing record. And Assassin's Creed is a game that should be able to be relatively easy to turn into a movie in terms of how to do it, you know, so there shouldn't be a whole lot of F-ups. But honestly, you know, maybe it's best that they didn't come out with another game because I'm kind of over Ubisoft as the creators, or rather devs over Assassin's Creed anyways. I'd really be excited what a more talented, better listening team of devs could do with it. I would really like to see another group or another company get that game that respects consumers and just handles it better, you know? I'm gonna be honest, I'm just kind of over Ubisoft at this point anyways. I believe that movie comes out December. I can't remember if we said 25th or 21st. It's somewhere in the 20s, and I definitely know they said December, but I don't know if that's a hard date or if they're gonna change it or what, you know, they do that stuff. The next thing that they showed was Watch Dogs 2, and it just seems like Mr. Robot Dogs 2. You know, it really reminded me of Mr. Robot right away, and then I got on Twitter, and I believe Jesse, I can't think of his last name, said it too, and I was like, damn, I just said that. It really does remind you of Mr. Robot if you've seen that show. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. That could mean it, because Mr. Robot's a great show, so that means Watch Dogs 2 could be a great game. I don't know, but I don't have high hopes for it because I hated Watch Dogs 1, and I honestly don't even really like the concept of the game. It's just not appealing to me enough to be a game. And they didn't really seem to try to do anything to flesh it out or make it better, and I don't think that they listened too hard with Watch Dogs 1, like, to what people were saying, the criticisms. So I'm wondering if they've even improved anything for Watch Dogs 2 beyond very basic stuff. I don't know. but I really didn't like or care about the first one, so I'm trying to be positive because I do want to support a black protagonist, and some of the stuff seemed cool. Like, they get 10 points for playing Eric B. and Rakim in the little presentation that they did, so that's cool, I'll give them that. Combat looked kind of nice. Graphically, of course, it looked nice. Hopefully it'll look like that when it comes out, because I think that was one of the issues with Watch Dogs 1. We'll see. Yeah, but I don't have the highest of hopes. We'll just see. I'll say that. I won't say it's bad. I won't say it's good. We'll see. And lastly, they ended on some sports game like Steep or some snowboarding, paragliding, parachuting, whatever game. And honestly, that was so weak. I'm sorry. Like, sports games, it's really just, it wasn't that original of a concept for them to end on. That's something that they should have brought out in the beginning and got past that. In fact, they could have skipped over that Just Dance crap and put that Steep crap at the beginning and ended on the South Park one. That was such a weak, and then you could just tell they were so proud of it, and it's like, it's not ugly looking, like graphically it's appealing, and I guess maybe it could be fun for a little while, but it was really boring me as I was watching it. I don't see why that's a game, and I really don't see why they ended on that, and like, I'm disappointed in them, because that just seems like such a basic concept. Like, don't end with something weak, you know. It seems like a lot of these presentations are having a hard time keeping the pacing. Like, don't you understand the basics of you build up like steps, you know? Save the best for last. It's like they put something good in the middle, something weak at the end, something crazy at the beginning that makes no sense. I don't understand what they're going for this year. But in grade, so we can wrap this up, Ubisoft did okay. They did a lot better than I thought. I didn't really think anything. So maybe that was why I didn't have the highest of expectations, because I was just trying to keep it chill, because I don't know what's going on this year. But I wasn't really super impressed, but they do have some solid stuff coming out. There are a few solid things, so it definitely was not all bad. So we'll see what Sony's going to bring later on tonight. I'm on the East Coast, so I have some time. It's going to be relatively late by the time they finally get around to it. Like, I don't even know what time, because I forgot what time it starts. I gotta check in a minute. So I'm going to rest up a bit, edit this stuff up, check up on some things, and then we're going to see what Sony has. And hopefully, because Sony, it's you, man. It's on you. Please bring it. Okay? Please show us that E3 is still worth something this year.